He's kind of us trying to be a hero. He's you or me trying to be a hero. He has all the foibles, the problems, making rent, the secret life, the parts of himself he has to keep to himself. But he doesn't do that in a dark and brooding way.
Spider-Man, there were moments of darkness, and there were moments where maybe he was on somewhat of a bleak precipice, but the thing about Peter Parker that always stayed with me is that he never lost his sense of humor. Even in the middle of the chaos, he was always making wisecracks. He could always look at the sunny side of things.
There was one scene once where he, I love this scene, where he had received a check as a reward for doing something, and it was made out to Spider-Man. So he went to the bank to cash the check. I think it was $1,000 or something. And the bank teller said, "Do you have any identification?" And he said, "Well, what do you mean identification? Look at me, I'm Spider-Man." And she said, "Anyone can wear a dumb Spider-Man suit. I need an ID." Well, he didn't carry anything in his pockets, and he couldn't tell you who he really was. So this poor superhero with his $1,000 reward couldn't cash the check.
He was a flawed human being. He was a nerd, didn't really know what life was about, and all of a sudden, boom, you get hit by a bolt of lightning, or in this case, bitten by a radioactive spider, and you got superpowers. And so those are actually, for me, more interesting stories to go, well, here's somebody who doesn't even know how to get through a 9-to-5 day, let alone try and come up with world peace, because now he's got superpowers.
Peter's problems were really practical. They were, I don't have enough money in order to go on a date, if I could get a date, and if I had someone to take to a date. And it was just at that level that Peter existed.
He was the typical kid, doted on by his aunt, got the snot beat out of him all the time, got colds. His costume wouldn't fit.
The first couple fights, he actually got shellacked. If you actually read them, he actually didn't know how he's supposed to be a hero. And to me, being a hero is sort of like a job. You have to grow into it. And those early issues, he was very naive.
I tried to get stories where sometimes the world was in danger unless he could get to a certain place and stop the villain. But at the same time, his aunt was ill, and if he didn't bring her medicine, she might die. But they were both in different directions. He was only one guy. What would he do? And I loved those kind of problems, and how would you solve it?